Well, it's really hard to just go, okay, I'm not scared.
Right.
Yeah, you can lie to yourself and say you're not scared. To actually become at peace with your situation and see the positive and all the things. In a way, the admonition, don't fear or don't be afraid, it's a negative admonition.
Right.
It's kind of like, okay, the truck is coming and you're in the crosswalk, but don't be afraid. You can't.
Well, you should be afraid if there's a truck coming and you're in the crosswalk.
Yeah.
The fear's going to tell you to move your buns across the street.
Yeah, but the point being that fear is it's kind of a natural. Everybody has anxiety.
I think that divorces change, obviously, and it's just complete uncertainty. It's like just, stirring up your whole, just pouring your life into a pot and just stirring it all up is essentially what you do in divorce. And
it's like swimming with sharks,
Right. And everybody is afraid to some extent, whether that fear takes on the form of, stress or anxiety or, in physical attributes such as insomnia, or you can't eat, or you can, all the things that happen, particularly in the very beginning, kind of that initial chronic stress. But then as the case wears on, you have fear around money, you have fear around your children and the parenting schedule, and what are your assets going to be, and are you going to be able to afford to find another place to live, and are you gonna, it's on and on. It's just the fear takes on different forms as the process moves along. We tend to assume what's around the corner is negative, and number one, that's not true. That's your fear speaking to you. But number two, whatever is around that corner, and not that you're never going to have anything negative and it's all going to be roses around the corner, but whatever's around that corner is probably better than anything you can create in your imagination. It's probably better than you think it's going to be, but you can't get there because you're stuck in what's behind you. You're stuck in the divorce process and in making your ex pay or getting full custody of the kids, or whatever your focus is in this divorce process. That's where your brain is stuck, and you're not focusing on what could be out around that corner into your future. You have to understand that this is a period in your life. It's a blip, okay? And it's a rough blip. I'm not saying it's a minor blip. It's rough. And this process is difficult. I get it. I am a single mom. My ex left. He didn't pay support. And he was the primary earner. And it was a nightmare. And it was rough for several months. We always tell people the first year or so is usually financially the hardest. And I think by year 2, it starts kind of feeling more normal and things kind of stabilize a little more. But you have to understand that this is just a period you have to get through. This is a crisis point. You might have to ask for help. You might have to look for outside resources. You might have to get creative by renting a room in your house or doing whatever, but you're probably not going to be homeless. You're not going to go hungry. Things have a way of working themselves out. The biggest problem with the fear is that it keeps us stuck in our current predicament.
Right.
And it keeps us stuck in this divorce process. It keeps us focused around all the things that we think are going to go wrong.
That we don't have, right.
Right. And
it's the missing tile syndrome. You always, if you look at a ceiling and there's one tile that's broken, that's the one you look at and you go, why don't they fix that?
Well, we get really stuck on the how.
Yeah.
How is all this going to work out? How am I going to pay my bills? How am I going to make ends meet? How am I going to get the kids back and forth to school and try to work? And how am I going to, and honestly, the biggest thing right now is not making yourself crazy with how everything is going to happen.
When we worry about things, what's the picture that's in our head? We are picturing the disaster, aren't we?
Right.
And his philosophy says that if you meditate on things, if you picture them, you attract them into your life.
Right.
And he said, some of you all are a bunch of crap magnets. You're attracting crap into your life.
Right.
By the mental pictures that you're painting there. And that's kind of the unbeliever's corollary to having faith is, you have to fill yourself with pictures of the good things that might be around that corner.
Right.
If you want to attract them into your life.
The idea behind law of attraction is what you focus on is what's going to drive your behaviors and your and your interactions, and that's what brings that into your life. So if I'm sitting around going, oh, everything sucks, I have nothing, I'm going to be homeless, I'm going to be da-da-da-da-da, I'm probably going to knock it out of bed in the morning, I'm going to be depressed, I'm going to not put any effort into anything, and then subsequently those things happen, and then you go, see, I told you this was going to happen.
Right.
And it's much more fruitful for me to take, again, what I can control, which is me, and further my education, which I did after I left. When I got my divorce, I didn't even have a bachelor's degree. Now I have a master's degree, but that took time and effort. And
is that why you make me call you master?
Oh, I hope people know these are jokes. Okay. And I was focused on getting my education, moving myself forward, moving my career forward, being able to help other people, being able to be self-supporting as a result of helping other people, and all those kinds of things. And so you have to make a choice of what you want your day-to-day brain to be filled with.
Right.
We've seen people who are totally consumed years and years later by tracking down their ex and making sure they pay.
Right, yeah. The thing is, if you change yourself into somebody who takes care of their own support,
right,
who is responsible for their own parent-child relationship, dads, who have a set of governing values that comes from a higher source and a higher sense of purpose, you're going to succeed.
Right.
I don't think there's any doubt you're going to succeed.
Right, and that's not to say
if you get sucked into the crap vortex,
right,
you're going down.
Right, and that's not to say that it won't be tough for a while, that you won't have some struggles, and you won't, But at the other side of it, again, you have to have faith in your ability to figure things out. The value in being done, I just can't.
Enormous.
Yeah,
it's enormous. That's where the real good stuff happens.
Right. Is when you're actually finally done. And because then a lot of the fear stops then, a lot of the uncertainty. I find people after one session of mediation, their fears are decreased a lot. And the amazing thing to me is when people start nearing that finish line and they see that there's solutions and they start feeling like they are going to be done pretty soon, you can literally physically see a change in their face, in just the stress and the worry. And I've had that experience multiple times with people where I'll see them once and we're working on things.
There's like a tipping point, and it happens like in a moment.
Yeah, and then you see them like a month later and you're like, wow, you look fantastic. Like you can just see the stress is gone from them. So just don't underestimate the value of being done, and stop being afraid and try to move yourself through this. Trust yourself, trust your decision making. Some decision is better than no decision.
Right.
And
true.
if you're really struggling with this, please get a coach. Please get a divorce coach or somebody that can help you with this, because you don't need to live feeling afraid like that.
We'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to